Morning all. Alright, so 4 games tonight in the NHL. Here's your preview. We've got one game starting at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. You will see that the No Mercy magnet is being used on this one because Minnesota showed none to Winnipeg in one of their meetings. This is the 4th and final meeting between these teams. So October 19th, crazy comeback victory for Minnesota, 6-5 in overtime. November 26th, Minnesota destroys Winnipeg 7-1. And they learned from that, did those Jets. February 8th, they won the next meeting 2-0. So tonight is the final meeting. Winnipeg trying to even the season series. Minnesota trying to make it more difficult for a division rival to make the playoffs. Minnesota's 30-11-3 over their last 10 games. They're 8-1-1. They've won 2 in a row. Away from home, they're 14-8-2. The Winnipeg Jets, 20-18-8 over their last 10. They're 3-5-2. They lost their last game, and at home they're 11-9-1. Winnipeg has to win a lot here. They're really finding themselves in a tough position, and so they really need to win some games here. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. We will see Florida and Carolina. So I'm pretty sure these teams haven't played in a while. November 6th. Florida won the matchup 5-2 between these two teams. On January 8th, Florida won again, this time in overtime 4-3. So Carolina looking to get on the board with this game tonight. Florida's 32-10-5 over their last 10. They are 7-3. They lost their last game. 9-7-5 away from home. And Carolina 32-11-3 over their last 10. They're 6-3-1. They lost their last game. At home, Carolina's 16-4-1. So the away record of Florida, the home record of Carolina would tell you Carolina should be favored, but Florida's been pretty impressive lately, so we shall see who wins this one. Then you fast forward 2 hours, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, the Anaheim Ducks and the Calgary Flames. On October 18th, Anaheim won this one in overtime 3-2. On December 3rd, Calgary won in a shootout 4-3. So this is the third of 4 meetings. Each meeting's been close so far. We'll see how things go tonight. Anaheim, 23-17-9 on the season. Over their last 10, they're 4-4-2. They lost their last game. Away from home, they're 10-9-5. Calgary's 27-13-6. Over their last 10, they're 9-1. They've won 7 in a row. At home, they're 11-4-4. Their next game is April 6th against one another. That will be the 4th and final meeting. So for Anaheim, who have fallen below the playoff line now, if the playoffs started today, you would have Calgary is the number 1 seed in the Pacific. You'd have Edmonton at number 3. And so we'll see how things go from here if the Flames can keep this up. And that, of course, is the big if because we're still a couple months away from having the playoffs all figured out and all that, right? Well, 2.5, right? So then at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, an interesting game between Colorado and Vegas gets started. So it's Jack Eichel and all that. And Vegas, for the first time in a long time, not first place in the Pacific, which might be just fine with them considering who you would get if you're the number 2 seed in the Pacific in the playoffs versus who you'd get as the top team in the Pacific. But that's a conversation that we can continue to have. October 26th, Vegas beat Colorado 3-1. We'll see how things go tonight. February 26th is the third and final meeting between these teams. So 10 days from now, they meet again. 34-9-4 is the record for Colorado. They lost last night, so now they're 8-1-1 in their last 10. Losing against Dallas in a game that they dominated. They might be kind of angry tonight. Away from home, they're 13-6-2. Their road record is not as good as their home record, but it's still pretty impressive. And for Vegas, they've got to start winning some games at home. 28-17-3 overall over their last 10. They're 5-3-2. They lost their last game. At home, they're 14-10-2. A very unfortress-like record for them. And so they're going to need to get that figured out in the second half of the season. Make home ice mean something again and make people scared of coming into the Fortress. So a win over Colorado would help. We'll see if Colorado can avoid losing back-to-back. Let me know in the comment section below your winners for tonight's games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.